What is the thing that motivates you to get up every morning and kind of like do the same thing again?
Some days you don't feel good, you feel terrible. You're like, oh, I can't do it today. But I always look over at these goals, and that's one of them. And I'm always like, all right, it doesn't matter. Like, gotta just keep going.
So kind of have like a vision board going on there on the side that you look at every day. So funny thing, because with vision boards, I see many people have vision boards, me included. And for me, it's something that I look at every single day and it actually motivates me. But then I see so many people that think they need to have a vision board, then they create something generic and never look at it again. How is it actually motivating you? All right, Jake from Jellyhouse, welcome to the podcast. Nice to see you here. Let's dive in right away. First of all, introduce yourself real quick. Like, who are you and what do you do exactly?
Yeah, thank you for having me. My name is Jake Keker, and yeah, I run a production company called Jellyhouse, where we focus primarily on music video and short form content production. And we're based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and do a lot of work here in Nashville and Los Angeles. And recently started new editing setup series that has kind of taken off and gone viral in its own world. And yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
And that's probably why every single filmmaker and videographer around the planet now knows your work. You, I mean, depending, since your face is on every single every single one of those. But I believe every creator knows you by this time. So pretty much, actually, let's show the people one of those because second of all, they know what we're talking about.
Yo, you get that?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I wonder, like, how did you guys come up with this idea?
Shout out to Landon, man. Shout out to Landon, by the way, from Full Time Filmmaker. He actually just DM'd me. It was like a month into the series. When a couple videos had started going viral, he was like, yo, we should definitely collaborate on a video. And I was like, yeah, I'm super down. And so we were on a phone call, kind of just pitching ideas back and forth. And Landon came up with, he was like, what if we did one in like the back of a car, like the van, with the drop down TV? And I was like, that's perfect. Because I actually had that on my list of ideas. I have a list of like 100 ideas. And that was one of my ideas. And the fact that he said it too, I was like, yeah, we got to do it. So yeah, he came up with that idea. I flew out to Salt Lake City, Utah, and we spent like 3 days out there. And the goal was to make a viral video. And then we ended up doing that. And now it's the most viewed video like that I've ever made. So it was crazy that we like set a goal to make a viral video and then it actually happened. Because I feel like a lot of times that stuff is like luck or you just never know what's going to happen. So the fact that that was our main goal and then it did happen was really special. So, and Landon's awesome. Shout out to Landon. He's a goat.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm getting to meet him in December, so super excited for that too. So I wonder though, you make music videos and that's your main business. So why produce a viral video about some funny editing setups?
Yeah, I think we just live in an age where like it's not just one lane anymore. I feel like companies have to kind of branch out and you see it on TikTok all the time, but like you'll see like Wendy's, for example, making like hilarious TikToks that don't even have to do with Wendy's, or like these brands are starting to like branch out and understand. It's like that Gen Z humor, I guess. But yeah, it just happened and started blowing up, and I was like, I'm just gonna run with it. Even though it has nothing to do with music videos at all, it's still just like a fun, creative outlet for me. And yeah, I think brands these days are just like, you can kind of do anything and if it's funny and people like it, like why wouldn't you do it?
True. But did you expect to get clients from it, or was it like a purely just a passion project, something fun that you wanted to do to express your creativity?
Yeah, no, I didn't expect anything to come out of it. Honestly, it was just I had this thing where I was posting on TikTok every day for like 90 days. And so I'd just try every idea. I would try like viral trends. I would try like posting about the music videos we do. And I had some success on TikTok, but then I finally tried like the Apple Watch editing setup was the first one I ever did, and that one like ended up doing really well. And then I was like, wait a second, this could turn into something because I was like, there's screens everywhere. And so I never really planned on creating this. It just kind of happened by accident.
Happy little accidents. But did it result in any client work?
Yeah, for sure. So now I'm doing brand deals and influencer collabs and stuff like that. So I did an Adobe brand deal recently that was really cool. I've done, work with influencers and celebrities and stuff now, different collabs like that. The Landon thing came from that with Full-Time Filmmaker. Did stuff with Crumble Cookies. So there's like a lot of brand deals in the works right now. So which I never would have imagined and never would have thought that I would be going that route, but that's where we are, and I'm just trying to run it and keep going and see where it goes.
Fair. However, do you still do music videos, or would you still
Oh
say
yeah.
that's your focus?
Yeah. So that's still going on kind of behind the scenes right now. I think we did like 6 of them just this month, so that's still going like full steam ahead.
Nice, nice. Okay, but now you added kind of like brand deals and influencer
Yep.
deals and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool to see. That's pretty cool to see. So I guess you also your follower count must have exploded since you posted the first viral one. Like
Yeah.
where were you at before the
I
series?
think maybe like 2 or 3 thousand, and now it's over 100,000 on Instagram. So that's been
Incredible.
crazy as well.
That is crazy. So I don't even know, like how big is your team at Jellyhouse?
So we have 3 people that are kind of the main people right now, and then it just depends on each project like that we get from, labels or these independent artists, like the budgets they have for the projects, then I'll hire on additional crew on like a project by project basis. Kind of the day-to-day like background stuff going on. It's me and then 2 other guys.
Got it. And I think this is actually going to inspire a lot of people because of the fact that many people or many videographers, many filmmakers are doing music videos, or that's kind of like an easy entry into the industry. However, most of them, like 95% of them, are struggling financially, like heavily. And you guys seem to have made it. What would you say is like the difference between a random videographer doing some music videos and a production company like you that actually takes it seriously?
Yeah, I mean, we all start somewhere, right? I was that random videographer, very broke, trying to struggle and barely make it for several years actually. So I think it's just a matter of time and who wants to put the work in. Because it's a very, very difficult industry to break out in and to move up and level up and advance. But if you have the right mindset and you work hard enough, I really think that anyone can build a production company, anyone can build and scale a successful business. Because yeah, we all start from zero, So I think the advice or what I would give is like just keep going, keep working hard, keep putting out more videos. Outreach is huge. So like back in when I was starting out, I had a reminder on my phone that was like DM 10 artists today. And so every single day for like over a year, I checked that off. So if you add that up, it's like that's over 3,600 DMs sent, and only if 1% of those reply, like that's still, a good amount of artists. So yeah, I was just putting in the work every single day for years and years and years. And then it finally got to the point where I was consistently working with, 3 to 5 different artists a month. And then that turned into, working with bigger and bigger budgets and, meeting people. That's a huge part. The networking of it is like now if I need a producer or I need a DP or a gaffer, like I know who to go to. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. And if you really, really want it, just keep working, keep pushing.
So let's say somebody is already doing it since like 3, 4, 5 years, because I know plenty of music video producers kind of. And the thing is, they are working hard. That's what they feel like. They are putting in the work. They want it. They feel like it's a 10 out of 10. They do it every single day. Yet they can't find that breakthrough that you potentially had. What would you say was the biggest driver? You said you DM'd 10 people a day or 10 artists a day. Was there anything else that you say like, hey, this made the breakthrough happen?
For me, it wasn't like ever a breakthrough moment. It was just kind of a slow, gradual build of working with more and more artists. I would say something that helped me a lot was one of my good friends and like the first artist I ever worked with. His name is Trey Schaefer. Shout out to Trey. He had a pretty good connection and network of artists already. So I moved in with him in Nashville, Tennessee, still working with him mainly as an artist, doing all his music videos, all his visual stuff. And then he was connecting me to other artists. And then those artists would connect me to more artists. But it definitely helped that he was kind of an established artist in his industry and helped me make those connections. So I think it was just the compound effect of those connections early on. Like this was like 2019, early 2019. And so yeah, it was just all about those early connections. And those I just feel like sometimes randomly even work that I did in 2020 will somehow like find its way to a client who knows this person, who knows this person, and it's just that like compound effect.
So it's more like just put out as much work as you can so people get to see it.
I was putting out maybe 10 music videos in a whole year. Very particular when I was first starting out. Like every single frame of the video had to be perfect. I'm learning that's not how you should do it, but early on I was super particular. So like, and the way I was surviving financially was like I wasn't only doing music videos, I was also doing like commercial ads.
What was the kind of revenue you were making when you decided to go full time and you felt like, hey, I can really make this happen?
Yeah, I think I was probably doing like close to like 10K a month. That's probably when I was like made the jump to officially strictly do music videos.
I mean, 10K a month, it's interesting. That's that holy grail number for some reason. Don't understand why. But many creators dream of making 10K a month one day. And for you, that was only kind of like the beginning. It seems like you had a bigger vision, something greater going on than just having that 10K a month. What is like that driver for you? What is the thing that motivates you to get up every morning and kind of like do the same thing again?
Yeah, I just really love what I do. Like it's so cliche, but I do love the creative process and watching a video from like the idea of it to the final product where it's edited and it's out there in the world is like the most satisfying feeling to me. So that's why I do it every day. It's just like I really love what I do and I really like I'm very goal oriented and just like to push myself, always have been. So I have like private goals actually on my wall right here that I'm looking at and those motivate me every day.
Now you tease me.
Oh man, they're private, but okay, this one's pretty generic. It just says don't give up, don't get lazy, keep going. So I like that one. It's just like some days you don't feel good, you know, you feel terrible, you're like, oh, I can't do it today. But I always look over at these goals and that's one of them, and I'm always like, all right, doesn't matter, like gotta just keep going.
So kind of have like a vision board going on there on the side that you look at every day. So funny thing, because with vision boards, I see many people have vision boards, me included. And for me, it's something that I look at every single day and it actually motivates me. But then I see so many people that think they need to have a vision board and they create something generic and never look at it again. How is it actually motivating you? Like, what did you do specifically? Did you put images of yourself on there? Did you take some stock footage? Like, what did you do to make it motivate you on a daily basis?
So my business partner, Sean Young, he's the one who handles all the brand deals and outreach and stuff like that. He actually inspired me to do this. So I have like two parts of the vision board. One part is like on this right half of my studio, and that's like just words. And it's like the goals I have, like the themes for my lifestyle that I want to have. And it's basically like word based. And then right above me is like very picture based. So I have pictures of like brands that I will work with one day and like celebrities and artists that I will work with one day that I'll do music videos with. So that's more of like the picture version of it. And then I have like the actual written out version. And I like that because it's like as creative as I am, I'm a very structured and like very organized being. And so I like to have just the text and everything.
It's rare for a creative.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a curse though too, because it drives me crazy. Like I'm basically just super OCD and like organized, and like sometimes it's way too much though, because it like drives me crazy. Yeah, so I'd like to have that just organization over there.
What way would you say organization helps you in your day to day? Because I see so many creators like literally all over the place, no calendar planning, no scheduling, nothing. They just wake up in the morning at some random time, like 9, 10 a.m. And then they start working on some edit. And then they do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and they never really have structure. Like, how does structure help you?
Yeah, it's huge. So I have the reminders app on my phone is like my lifesaver. I probably range anywhere from 40 to 50 reminders each day. And there's probably over 600 reminders in my phone right now, but it's just like every single day, the day before. So like last night, I basically am just structuring out my day. So I'll just literally whatever I need to get done, I have it like, oh, 8:30 a.m. reminder meeting, with Nick at 9. Meeting at whatever. But I'll just every single day plan out my day and make sure the reminders. And there's also like really small stuff in there. Like here, I'll literally open it right now. I probably have like I gotta get a car wash today. That's one of my things. I gotta check in on a few invoices. I gotta do a couple different editing projects, follow up with like 3 different clients. And so just having that reminders like saves me because it helps keep structure and organization, especially when you're like, where the point I am right now is like I'm running this business, which I've been running for 3 years. And then I'm also trying to manage all the recent social media hype and like using that. And so trying to balance those two has been just crazy the past 3 or 4 months. And so the organization is super key to like the consistency as well. Because I've been pretty consistent about posting 3 skits per week ever since like May. So I haven't missed a single post.
Nice.
So that has been largely due to just my planning and the reminders and scheduling and all that.
So talking about consistency, because that's a key word for success ultimately. How would you say has consistency played a role in building this agency into something that is actually successful compared to other creators who might post once every full moon?
Yeah.
And then they expect things to happen fairly quickly. So how would you say has consistency helped you in building the business?
Yeah. So I think early on, the first example where I saw consistency really paying off was on TikTok. And that was like 2 years ago. And 2 or 3 years ago, I can't remember, but it was when TikTok was, first coming out and there was the crazy hype. And that was the only thing anyone talked about. And I was like, I'm going to set a goal. Like, I want to try to make a TikTok every single day. And just no matter what, hold myself accountable to that and see what happens. Cause I was like, if I can just be consistent, I feel like something good will happen out of it. And so I did that for about a period of 6 months, I think. I posted a new video every single day. And it wasn't just like a talking to the camera video. They were kind of full on edited. Like they would take me at least 2 or 3 hours to edit. So I did that every single day for close to 6 months, I want to say. And I built the page from like 0 to like 40,000 followers, had a couple, maybe 6 to 8 videos do over a couple million, and a couple million views. And then that translated to landing more clients and converting people over to my Instagram page. And so the main thing that I like dedicate or give praise to for that success was just the consistency. So editing every single day, posting every single day, no matter what. Like even if I knew I was traveling, I would like pre-edit the videos ahead of time. So I'd have like 3 stored in the bank and so I could post them. And then that was like the first example where I was like, yeah, consistency really is the key to success with any sort of social media or business or online presence. And then, yeah, like I was saying earlier with the editing setup series, I've been posting 3 per week consistently since May. And, that as well has done great returns for the work I put in and stuff. So I really do think consistency, because like you said, some artists, some creators, they'll post once a month, and that can work if you're like Drake or someone who's already the biggest person in the world. But like if you're an independent artist or independent creator and you're trying to grow and make a name for yourself, like the harsh truth is no one's going to care if you only post once a month, so you have to be hammering it and just really, really, really locked in.
Yeah, facts. Actually, I wonder, because your editing series, obviously, it's the same thing every time, but there goes a lot of time, I believe, or a lot of work into coming up with the ideas, actually going out, filming them, actually editing them, putting the VFX together and stuff. So what's your process with the editing series, just to give people some insight into what's needed to actually be consistent? Because 3 times a week is a lot with these kind of videos.
Yeah. So I have a notes app, or I have a notes file in my notes app on my phone where there's probably 100 different ideas. And just throughout the days, throughout the weeks, if I come up with an idea, I add it to that notes section. And then Yeah, it really is a lot to produce these videos from A to Z, because it's like you gotta come up with a concept. Then I have to find someone who can film me with an iPhone, because I like keeping them on the iPhone. It keeps it a little more raw. And, you know, a lot of my friends are just busy, or people have this going on or that or whatnot. So a lot of it is like I got to plan in advance. So you got to get the dude to film you. And then it's like planning out the shot and the angle and how you want the shot to start. And it's so particular, because like the smallest little things will either make a video super viral or make it average. So like planning out the exact composition and shot, and then doing a couple practice runs, and then, you know, filming the actual video, and then editing the actual video, and then posting it. But I would say on average it takes between like 8 to 12 hours of total work for each post. And then just that consistency of like posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday means like there's not a single day where I'm not either planning the video, filming the video, or editing the video. So like
Mhm.
it's just crazy. And sometimes, you know, I have to travel or go to these different places, and so I gotta stack them up and finish these videos early so they're ready to post. So yeah, it's crazy. I think some people may look at them and just see like, oh, that's funny, like I could just go film that. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes to try to make it that type of video.
Yeah, that's what I believe people don't see. It's like, yeah, funny video, as you just said, right? But then they don't look at what's the work behind it. And sometimes when people do, it's like, well, I could do something like this. People have the skills, technically,
Yeah.
but they don't.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that people could technically do something similar, but they don't? They don't put in the work.
I've seen a lot of people try to copy it, and they're honestly really funny, but like they don't make it look real is the problem. Like a lot of them have like kind of, you know, lazy masking, or like the tracking is off, or like, because the thing about making it look so real is like you have to match the motion blur, you have to match the lighting, you have to perfectly 3D track it, you have to match the perspective, you have to match the reflections of the screen, you have to add a bit of noise, you have to add a bit of a screen texture. Like there are so many little minute details that when they add up make it look like super real.
Mm-hmm.
I just think a lot of people aware of that maybe, or they just like, I don't know, but I've seen like hundreds of, you know, the editing setup videos from other people.
How does that
But
make you feel?
I love it, honestly. Like I think
Yeah.
it's really funny, and I think it's cool that like other people are inspired to go out there and create. And I've seen a few of them that are actually pretty good. But a lot of them are just like lazy, honestly. Like and it just doesn't look real. But I think it's really cool. I'm glad that other people are doing it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that's one way of seeing it, which I'm the same. However, many people would be like, "Oh no, no, they're copying me." Da, 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 da. So it's really cool to see that you still kind of like have that let's say humble outlook on it and be like, "Hey, it's cool that I inspire other creators, yet you do your own thing. You have your brand deals from that, and you're actually making money from it, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Something that is just has just started as something fun.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody who is maybe in the shoes that you were in when you started out, right? A creator who wants to make it big. Maybe he's doing music videos, maybe he's doing corporate work, doesn't matter. But they just struggle, you know. They're working, they feel like they're working 24/7, or they actually do. They're making probably $2,000, $3,000 a month, struggle to make a living, and they just can't figure it out. Like, what kind of advice would you give to somebody like that?
Yeah, I would say like figure out if this is something you really want to do, and like honestly take a step back and say, am I just doing this just because other people want me to do it, or like I've seen other people do it, or like do I truly from within want to do this? Because I was in that position for like 2 years, like struggling, barely making a living, like having nothing. And the only thing that kept me going was because like I truly deep down loved creating music videos and being creative like that. And so that's what pushed me every single day. So I would advise them to like take a step back and be like, hey, do I really want to do this? Because if I don't, like you should just not do it, because it's gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. There's gonna be, terrible, terrible moments, and there's gonna be really good moments too. But I think you just got to take a step back and be like, do I really want to do this? And find the motivation from within you, and really just push yourself, keep going, try new things as well. I think that's good advice. It's like you don't have to stick to one thing. Like if you're a videographer or an editor, like maybe try branching out to something a little different. Like, I don't know, if you have a drone, maybe try like drone real estate work, or like drone, just some other way that you can try to make money so that you have more free time to work on that passion. Um, so yeah, I would say just number one, find out if you really, really, really want to do it. And then number two, like within your niche or within your industry, maybe just try branching out a little bit to other things and just see where it leads you.
You also said that your business partner is currently taking care of like outreach and brand deals and everything. Like, how important would you say is outreach actually, since you did 10 artists a day for the
Yeah.
longest period of time?
Yeah, that's everything. It's like I think when I was early on starting, I was like, oh, I don't want to be annoying or whatever, but like people don't care. Like you just have to send the messages. And you just never know what could happen. You never know if, whoever you DM, it's like the perfect time. They're looking at their phone. They love it. For example, I'll use this example. One of my favorite creators of all time, Danny Duncan. Shout out to Danny, good friend of mine now. He actually DM'd me and was like, yo, I love the editing set of videos. This was a few months ago. It was like 3 a.m. or something, so random. I'm never up that late in my life, but that happened. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna DM him back, and part in my brain, I'm like, oh, I don't want to ask him like if we can do a collab or whatever. And then the other part of my brain is like, you just got to do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Just ask. And so I asked him. Anyways, long story short, we ended up meeting up in LA, doing a collab video, hanging out, like, and became friends from it. And that was like my all-time favorite creator of all time. So,
Like,
uh, I think that the theme is like just send those messages. Like, it doesn't matter. Don't be afraid of the rejection. Like, just go out there and outreach to everyone you can. Maybe start like how I did it and say, hey, I'm gonna send 10 cold emails every day for a month and see what happens. Or I'm gonna DM 5 people every day for a month and see what happens. But I think you got to set that goal, because it's easy to just like forget. But if you're like, hey, every day, 10 a.m., no matter what, I'm putting 30 minutes aside and I'm sending these messages. I think people would be surprised on the return on that. So
yeah, inspiring, man. Inspiring. Thank you for sharing. I think when people see this, they go like, wow, okay, it is truly possible, even in a hard niche like music videos, which is crazy. Now, I do have one last question for you, which is this. When I go to your Instagram, I see Jellyhouse sandwich shop. What's up with that?
yes, so uh, I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know. To me, I just don't like taking myself too seriously on social media. So it's like, a lot of brands, like I guess it should say like creative agency or like production company or whatever. But I just think it's funny. Like if you go to my personal Instagram too, it says like hot air balloon tour agency. So I've always just thought it's like funny to just like make a random thing there. But I think sandwich shop is funny because it's like our logo and branding is Jellyhouse. And maybe one day it will be a sandwich shop. That would be crazy.
Nice.
You eat a sandwich and like watch music videos or something. I don't know.
Could be a
But
co-working space for editors.
yeah, could be. So yeah, I just think it's funny. I like putting it there.
Nice. Yeah, man, Jake, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for inspiring others. And yeah, wishing you more of what you already have, which is success,
Thank
obviously
you
in
very
creative
much.
forms.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. It was a pleasure talking with you. A great question. It was a great conversation. So thank you.
Of course, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Yeah, inspiring, man. Inspiring. Thank you for sharing. I think when people see this, they go like, wow, okay, it is truly possible, even in a hard niche like music videos, which is crazy. Now, I do have one last question for you.